No, and I think it's interesting, wherever the Bible really wants to highlight the greatness of God, it goes to creation. When I consider the heavens, the work of thy hands, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man that thou art mindful of him? And in that same Psalm 8, O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name. It's like whenever it really wants to highlight the greatness of God, it points to his creation. And as a molecular biologist, I can understand why, because it blows your mind when you start seeing it. I remember the first day, so I was doing this experiment. We were trying to look at the neural tube closing. And in order to do this, we were taking these tiny, fraction of a millimeter section of these embryos. And then we were throwing them under a electron microscope to try to look at the cells at that high, 10,000, 20,000 magnification. And I'd never done this before. So I'm looking on the electron microscope, and you've got the screen up there, and you're moving through looking at these cells, which it's really hard to find where you're at in a cell at that magnification. And I came across this structure. So this structure is something I'd only ever read about in textbooks, and you may have heard the name before. It's called a centriole. Now, it's not the most famous structure in the cell, so most people have no idea what it does, but it's basically the highway department of the cell. So it builds roads all over the cell, and then other things walk along those roads and deliver proteins. Anyways,
there are actual things though too, right? It's not like you're saying it's like a robot that goes along the.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not another living thing inside the cell. It's one of the many proteins.
Yeah.
Kinesin is the one you're thinking of that walks.
Literally has feet that walk along. I gotta show you these things. It's crazy.
Anyway, so this is the road builder that makes those roads that they walk on, and I'd only ever seen it in textbooks. And it has this really interesting design where it's got these 3 rings that are all in a clump. So you've got a group of 3 rings, and it has 9 of those groups, all in a spiral. And I saw it in this microscope. Never seen one before except in a textbook. And you could not look at that as you're scanning through this, blob of stuff you can't see. And you see this structure. You look at it and you think, a mind put that there. Like that is an intricate structure that looks like it was built by a human.
Organized.
Yeah. And that was such a neat experience to see that for yourself, and to see you hear about all these molecular structures. Along with the centriole, you've got the flagellum, a molecular motor, runs at 100,000 RPM, built up of 40 different proteins. And to see how all these things are intricately designed, to me, that is the ultimate and the most important and the main argument for a creator from a scientific perspective.
Hey, thanks for watching this short with us today. And if you like it, check out our full episodes on our channel and website. We'll put those in the links below. And as always, Scott,
like and subscribe, or subscribe and then like, whatever order you want, really.
Whatever order you like.
Yeah.
Thanks.